Welcome back to the program, BVarsity Live Preview Show. Every Thursday for the rest of the school year. Might take a week off for Christmas, I guess. That'll be about it. Show it off. Show it off. Bryan Nixon.
God, he hates this. Man, he hates it.
We are here with Liberty coach Bryan Nixon and two of his top charges, Zach Griffin, Kurtis Brown. Thanks for being here, guys.
Thank you.
We appreciate you. We've got look. We talked Bakersfield starting with Pleasant Grove, big game. You guys have a big game. In some ways, it may be more important. Oh, there's Kurtis. Yep,
It's a good look for you,
on
Kurt.
the left side.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
right in the middle. It may be a bigger game just because it's a central section game. It's going to affect seeding down the line. I mean, and we were just talking about it. The Fresno B section rankings, Clovis West is number 1. You guys are number 2. In BVarsity section rankings, you're number 1. Ridgey's number 2. Those are your first 2 games. I mean, you could have 1 versus 2 battles the first 2 weeks, but Kurtis, why not have it any other way, I guess?
Yeah, just we like having that hard schedule because when we come into the league, we've faced those challenges of different offenses, different defenses, which we'll be prepared for it and have a good season.
And we also talked about you play your first game this year in La Monica, which is where you played the section championship last year. So some good memories, Zach, going back out there tomorrow.
Right, yeah, it's good memories just going back out there. I mean, yeah, just no, it was good times, but looking forward to this season.
Yeah, that
playing.
one's over, right? Oh.
Yeah, just so it's over now. It's a new season.
Bryan, Clovis West lost 2 of the better players in the Valley in the last several years in Darian Owens and Caleb Kelly, but almost everybody else is back, I think, from last year. What do you see from them on film?
They have a lot of juniors this year that were sophomores last year. Their quarterback is definitely the guy that stands out the most. Very athletic player, throws the ball well, big physical runner. So you definitely have to keep him contained. They have their 2 inside linebackers back, which gives them some strength defensively. And, they're a very solid football team, very solid. They're number 1 for a reason.
You see a quarterback like that, Kurtis, and coach is saying you got to contain him. I don't know if it was coincidence or not, but you were rubbing your hands together. that almost sounds like music to your ears because your job is to get into the backfield and kind of cause havoc and be everywhere on a guy like that, right?
Yeah, he's a great athlete. All respects to him. He can move left, right. He's very mobile. So it's going to be really hard to contain him, but that's just my job, and I have to do it.
Zach, how about you? What do you see from film from Clovis West?
Like Kurtis said, he's a really good athlete. Their offense all around is pretty good, but main focus for defense, stop that quarterback, get him out of the game.
We talked to you about it a little bit a couple weeks ago on the coach's show, Bryan, but last week. Was that just last week?
That was just last week,
Man.
buddy.
We put in a couple 12-hour days since then on this.
No,
sucker,
you're
so
more worried about your 4-year-old's birthday party today.
I
Be
am worried
honest.
about that.
Be
But
honest.
anyway,
Happy birthday, Thomas.
How's life as a champion, guys? I mean, is it different walking around kind of having that feather in your cap, Zach?
Throughout the first couple months, yeah, it felt good, but now it's just trying to get back to business and try to get another one.
How about now that you are trying to get another one, that feather in your cap turns into a target on your back, right?
Right, yeah, it's always good to have a target on your back though, because it gives you more challenges throughout the season, get to play the best football at the end of the year.
And you don't get the target if you don't accomplish anything either. Kurtis, how do you feel about that whole thing? I mean, you're the hunted now. Does that put any additional pressure on you?
Yeah, since January, we knew we were going to be the hunted, so that makes you just work harder all the way from January until now. It's just lifting more weights, getting more work in so you can be better on the football field.
There's a lot to look at with this team, Bryan, and obviously you lost your offensive line, but you had a bunch of freshmen and sophomore from last year's team that are coming up. When you look at pieces like that are coming up, what kind of excites you about this team? And, obviously, like we talked about last week, high school football at the public school level is always about kind of the unknown and building and finding new traits. What is it about the 2016 Patriots that really kind of gets you excited?
I think we're young. We're young in a lot of spots, but we also have some of the senior leadership returning, which helps guide those young guys. And, we know it's a process, and these kids got to get better on a daily basis. And, I know you guys hate my cliches, but that's one of the things that we really preach is we have to continue, and that's why we want to play these good football teams to put those kids in those situations so by the end of the year, they're battle tested. They're ready to go. And if we can get those things and start doing the little things right now, good things are going to happen for us.
I don't want to say I hate the cliches. I just like to make fun of them because they're coming. You kind of roll your eyes on it. But you know what? As I always say, they're cliches for a reason because they work as coaches that if you focus on those things, you're going to be in a better spot. One spot where you maybe have a question mark is at quarterback. That's what everybody's going to point at, is that you had a Division I guy in Jordan Love last year. He left. Now Bryson Falconer takes over. He's a senior. That's a plus. He's got some experience. He's not going to be really wide-eyed in there. He played a little bit last year. However, he's totally unproven. What do you guys think of your quarterback?
I love our quarterback. I've been growing up with him since we were beginning of football and freedom days, but I have complete trust with him. So, I'm happy that he will be our starting quarterback.
And will he be throwing passes to Kurtis Brown at any point this year? Will that happen? I don't want to give anything away, but I also feel like I've seen you line up.
Is that really giving anything away? I thought we already knew that.
I feel like you lined up at corner in a scout team practice. I saw you. Why not? Right? You gotta put your best athlete wherever he goes.
Kurtis, just show him the pause. Show him the pause.
Look at that.
Look at that. Yeah, that's a one-handed catch there, buddy.
Zach, how about you? Is Bryson a question mark in your mind, or are you pretty confident there?
Not at all. I've also grew up with Bryson, so I know how he works. Kid's a phenomenal worker. He just goes out there and works and does his own thing. I mean, I have all the confidence in the world with him.
That might have been our first on-air hiccup ever. I don't know.
I don't know what it was.
Yeah, that's okay. You swallowed it. It was good. It was well. It was that was show business right there. It was well played.
It's all right. Hey, the better Zach, I fall asleep a lot of times when the lesser Zach is talking, so don't worry about it.
I have that.
I had to throw that
I
one
have
out
that
there.
effect on people. I'm very comforting.
Why do your kids stay up all night then?
There's only one of them, man. But that's enough. That keeps you up all night. Coach, your idea of being the hunted. I mean, does it change anything you do or your message to these guys who are coming back and saying, hey, you got to work harder if you want to do it again?
No, I think it just goes with what we preach on a daily basis. And, we want to be the best we can be at all times. And that goes in the weight room. That goes with stretching agilities. And it kind of comes with it. So these guys put ourselves in. We've talked about the process of everything, to put yourselves in that position to be great. And I think these kids have done that. And we have to continue that. And these guys understand what has been placed before them. And now they get the opportunity to put their mark on our program.
Bryan, we just talked to Paul in the previous segment about scheduling up in the non-league schedule. And obviously you saw that it didn't matter what you guys did. It actually helped you, and it taught you who the team was. Mm-hmm. With you guys winning the Central Section title and moving on to the state playoffs, despite having 3 losses and not being able to play a game against Central last year in August and September, how much of that kind of fuels you to know that you can continue doing that? Because it's not going to hinder how you get to the state playoffs as long as you're winning the Central Section title at the end of the year.
Right. I don't know if it fuels us, because you get a lot more gray hairs and a lot more sleepless nights kind of trying to piece things together and doing some of those things. But it just gives you a chance to evaluate your football team, and it doesn't give you a false sense of security as you continue on. So this gives us opportunities to see them when the chips are down, playing against great athletes and great teams and well-coached football teams that, we're going to see what we have. And those are things we're able to work on to put ourselves in that position to play great football at the end of the year.
Big Kurt, what about for you? I mean, you too, Zach. I mean, when you guys look at it, did you feel like you were playing better football in November and December because of the games that you had to endure in August and September against like Cathedral Catholic and Mission Viejo and Ridgeview?
Absolutely. Just playing those, like I said, those different offenses we have different keys we could focus on, and we've learned that through time. So when we face, like, say, Buchanan, we know those keys, and we come on like Del Oro, which is the same physical team, like they run at you. So it was just simple for us.
Not to pick a scab, but the Del Oro game, you win a section title, the highest of highs. It looked like you had the Del Oro game in hand and we're going to go play for a state title, and they take it away from you it's just a phenomenal football game, but for you guys, a heartbreaker. Zach, how does that feel, you guys, this year, to say, let's get back and win that game now?
I mean, yeah, we just play to the next game. Honestly, we have, especially coming on this first game, we're coming off that loss. It's especially for these seniors. We wanted to win the game, but coming through this game, it's just we already have a chip on our shoulder, so we're ready.
And as we mentioned, a very tough schedule, as you can find in our preview section here. But you guys also play Central and Buchanan, and you've got this Clovis West game. You will have a pretty good idea, I think, of where you stand by the time week 10, week 11 roll around, Bryan.
Yeah. No, and that's kind of the reason that we did that, and it's give yourselves an opportunity to be in that position. And, with having some young guys, this is going to be one of those years that we're really able to evaluate early and get those guys battle tested because, week in and week out, the SWYL is tough.
We talk about young guys. Before we go, I want these older guys to give a shout out to pick one or two younger guys who have really impressed you during training camp here.
Sam Stewart, definitely one of the younger guys that I've been really impressed with since he came up with doing 7-on-7 with us in the mornings. I really like his agility and versatility. That's good. And one of the senior guys that we have, Lorenzo Hidalgo, he's absolutely going to kill it for us. I mean, I love him on both ways. He absolutely kills it. I can't wait to see what he does this year.
I gotta say, let me just point this out because Kurtis, I think we had you in here as a sophomore. How much you've gotten grown just in confidence and interviewing and that sort of thing and presence. And I know it takes practice in some ways, but you had 2 ready to go. Zach, how about you?
Just
He took 2, I know. So
yeah. I like Barry, Chad Barry. I like Barry, one of our offensive linemen. I like the way he works. He never quits. He works he's probably one of the hardest workers on our team right now, and it's just something to look up to as a junior.
Yeah, that's very cool, and I think that's you talked to me about that a few weeks ago, Brian. It's that cycle is so important, and if you can get the culture in your program of being a champion and being a winning program, it happens naturally, doesn't it? Where the seniors kind of shepherd the sophomores and juniors up.
Yeah, you hope so, and I think Kurtis got to experience some of that when he came up, and he's had 3 years with us now, so he's been able to be one of those shepherds and kind of lead the flock. And that's one of the things that's pretty neat to watch as it all comes into fruition of, hey, man, these kids are starting to get it, and that's kind of neat for us.
And you just make sure the flock drinks enough water and kind of enjoy it. No, I'm just
Make
kidding.
sure they eat, that's right.
Well, hey, Liberty opens up tomorrow night, 7 it's 7 p.m. game, right? 7 p.m. a little bit earlier than everybody else at LaMonica Stadium against Clovis West. Wish you guys good luck in that one. Certainly we'll be keeping an eye on it from our end, as that's one of the bigger games in the section. Obviously, 1 versus 2 if you listen to Fresno B. I think we have you guys 1 and Clovis West. Where do I have Clovis West? 5th?
Yeah, and I
Maybe
think
5th or
you have
6th, yeah.
Liberty 2.
So they're I'm sorry, I have Liberty 2 and Clovis West 5th or 6th. Sorry, guys. All right. Yeah, I tried to pull that one by you.
They don't care about what we say they
care
are.
about December and what the rankings will say then. I know that. So we appreciate you guys being in here. Kurtis Brown, Zach Griffin, Coach Bryan Nixon.
Thank you.
Good luck tomorrow night. We'll be right back. We got Trevor and I's predictions coming up to wrap the show on this Thursday afternoon.
We'll be wrong.